Hey YouTube, coming at you with my legend team from last season. So it's been very interesting this ultimately because I try team, doesn't work, go back to a team that works, a balanced team, it works again. Try a different team to try and showcase that to you, doesn't work, go back to a team that I used before and did well with and it worked again. So I know you guys said it's okay that I could use the same teams, but I want to try and give you guys something new to show like you don't need to use these same Pokemon and stuff like that. But unfortunately this team is very strong. I do modify it actually halfway through, so stay tuned for that. But the team, if you haven't watched last year's Legend video, it is Pidgeot, Swampert, Jellicent. So you are essentially trying to draw out a like a trevenant. So you stay in here. You don't stay in here. You usually either feather. You're supposed to Brave Bird. I do Feather Dance a lot. Different situations. I do actually do 2 successful Feather Dances here. I don't recommend that most of the situation. Just kind of how I felt in this matchup, like it was the right thing to do. But most of the time what I do is just Brave Bird, try and grab a shield to do chip damage, come in with Jellicent. Jellicent's tanky, you try and draw out a Trevenant, you try to draw out something that like that. Pidgeot will punish, and then Swampert will roam feed because Swampert with shield advantage is pretty strong. That's the team that got me to Legend last season. It got me some wins back this season. So I do modify halfway through. I'll talk about that when I get there. But 2 successful Feather Dances is great here. Scrafty is obviously tricky-ish because it will sort of just ramp up here. So I will shield up one foul play just because I think that they probably just can try and grab the last shield. And at this point, I can now foul play takes longer to get it to than Hydro Cannon does. So I can just get this out of here. And then I'll have a Jellicent and Swampert for whatever is in the back. And it is their own Jellicent. So I'm probably going to try and catch. Yeah, I tried to catch a Surf, but they did not throw the Surf. Which is okay because one Shadow Ball does not take you out, right, by any means here. So I can get the Shadow Ball. This will put him very low. In between the Hex and the probably Surf, we'll just take this out. I expect them to try and Surf and take me out before that. But I think I have a move loaded on my Swampert. Or, yeah, I've got a move loaded on my Swampert. And they are definitely within Hydro Cannon range. Because Hydro Cannon is a beast of a move. So, there we go. Charizard lead. Yeah, so again, you have 2 answers for Charizard in the back. That doesn't stop me from still staying in and throwing a Brave Bird. Especially in this situation where you have 2 answers for Swampert, for Charizard in the back. I didn't throw the Brave Bird. I threw the Feather Dance again. Because I'm an idiot. Okay. Throw the Brave Bird. I don't mind shielding once because they definitely have an answer to this in the back. A Brave Bird basically KOs there. So that is dumb. I'm going to try and catch I'm going to have to get out eventually. So I do catch a Blast Burn. So lower attack plus a Blast Burn unresisted is absolutely nothing to Jellicent. You know they have an answer in the back. There is an answer in Trevenant. So had I thrown the Brave Bird or gotten out sooner, that would have been better. But I'll have to eat the Shadow Ball. That's fine. I can now come in here. I'll Feather Dance and just farm down. I'll come out with a bunch of energy too. And the game is being laggy because once they made this updates, there is 1.5 million bugs right now. So that is unfortunate. Already lowered their attack, and then these are resisted Seed Bombs, so that ain't going to do much to a Pidgeot. Full farm down, loaded with energy. See what comes back in. Hopefully be smart and throw the Brave Bird, whatever does come back in. And I make sort of a mistake here. This is one where honestly either move would have been good. I should have thrown either the Brave Bird to grab a shield or the Feather Dance to lower their attack. Because if I lower their attack, then it'll probably take more than 2 Weather Balls to take me out. Or both Shadows maybe. Yeah, that does a lot of damage though. So I should have thrown one to either chip or lower their attack or take it out. But now I'm just kind of stuck here. They are going to probably shield. Oh no, they don't shield. I can farm down. I got to throw the Feather Dance here to lower their attack and get another one off. And now it's just whether I'm going to be able to take this out. That's fine. I have a shield. It's whether I'll be able to wing attack down before they powder snow me down. And my goodness, as you're about to see, how tanky is Pidgeot that I am able to wing attack 2 times down before they super effective shadow powder snow me down. So kind of lucky there, misplayed a few times and still end up well. This one you just gotta stay in here, right? You could come in, I mean, you can't come in jellicent, right? So jellicent, how the team usually plays is you come in jellicent and try and draw out something like this. The problem is this is not a comfortable matchup by any means necessary. So I do get a bait off, which is great. Because I lower their attack, I don't need to shield this first one. I will need to throw a Brave Bird, but even Brave Bird doesn't take it out. But I've already grabbed 1 shield. They're very unlikely to double shield an Obstagoon on the lead, not knowing what I have in the back and not knowing what. And we CMP. So that is just huge, huge all around. Take me out, up a shield, down switch. That's fine. Now loaded with energy, getting frame drops all over the place. Cresselia. So this is one where I don't know if I misplayed this or not. So you're double weak to Cresselia in the back to a certain extent because, well, you're not double weak to it, but it has Grass Knot and you're weak to grass in the back. So I double throw here because I'm like, if I do this, it's probably within like Hex and Surf range, and they end up shielding. And I'm like, okay, that's perfect. I could just Shadow Ball this and take this out. But I'm like, they're definitely at multiple Grass Knots here. And out comes a Gliscor. And Gliscor, again, is one of those Pokemon where it's, I know people swear by it, and I've had a little bit of success using it. But I know they're going to throw Night Slash here, but super effective Night Slash is still not going to take me out by any at all. They're going to have to throw again. We CMP. Because we CMP, I'm probably going to shield. Because I know I'm at a Surf that'll take it out. And then I can just Hex a bunch on the Cresselia. So I'll take it out. That's fine. Goodbye. Cress is going to have to throw here. If they were smart, they would have thrown before that. Because now I'm going to move and I'm going to win CMP against Cress. I know what they're thinking. They're going to just get to 2 moves and throw back to back. But no, you just lost CMP because you allowed me to get to the move. So that's kind of like improper timing. Like you probably want to throw before I get there to force me to make that decision to come in with Swampert and race there. So Tapu on the lead. This is fine. I will Brave Bird and Bail properly here. So throw the Brave Bird. They shield. Of course, they always shield when I throw the Brave Bird and never shield when I throw the Feather Dance. So that's just kind of how it is. Get hit with the Moonblast, and we have a Reggie. And this is the game I decided to switch it up. Because I'm going to lose switch here. Or do I jump around and then it costs me? Because I'm going to lose switch. They're going to hit me with a Zap Cannon. I can't come in Pidgeot because Pidgeot is useless. So I have to commit to Swampert already. And shield everything up. But then the Tapu eventually comes in and I eventually get they have a G-Fisk in the back, and it eventually switch locks me on the Pidgeot. And that's the problem with not having a Noctowl, or the Owl, I should just say, before people make fun of my pronunciation. That's the problem when you don't have the Owl that has a move that can throw against Steels. You're done. The game's over. So what you're going to see here is that I eventually get switch locked onto this. Maybe I just should have stayed there in there and threw Earthquake. And I have nothing to throw here. So, you're already double weak to Electric. So why don't we just go with a Flyer that has the same sort of strength in Pidgeot, but actually does something. And that, of course, is Charizard. Because I've showcased that multiple times already. And it's just proving to be super, super strong in this meta. So, after this game, I eventually switched Charizard in the lead. And I've already shown the Charizard Swampert core with Giratina. So I've got a couple battles in here, but like this Swampert Charizard core with Giratina, it's the same thing. With Jellicent, it's the same thing. With Umbreon, like a neutral safe swap on a balanced team is how that works. So I'll have a couple battles here with the Charizard coming up. And that is it. So in the comments, I love these comments. So I went over, I'm not calling anyone out specifically, because it happens a lot. this team is double weak to electric for sure. If you see an electric lead, you're in huge trouble, which is kind of why I switched to Charizard, because at least you can throw Blast Burn at an electric, even though you're going to lose that matchup. But what do you do against an electric? Well, I played, when I'm shooting this, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I've played 75 battles so far, which is 75 times 3, 225. I've seen 225 Pokemon so far. I've seen 3 Ampharos, 2 Galvantulas. So 5 electric out of 225. I have seen some Registeel which have Earthquake, which is why, Zap Cannon, which is why switching to Charizard on the lead at least get you Blast Burn Reggie, right? So what do you do against electric? With Charizard on the lead, I'd stay in and Blast Burn. You're probably going to lose. When you see it like 2% of the games, I don't care about building it against an electric. There is your invisible bug. Luckily I can see it's a crystal and I already have a shield advantage, so I don't know. Can't see what they're throwing. I'm just going to shield up anything, even though I know rock slide is resisted. I'm just going to shield it up, and this is a very easy matchup here. So yeah, so obviously teams are going to have weaknesses. Even if you built the most constructed, balanced team, you can still get hard countered, right? There's just nothing that you can do in various situations. You're just going to lose. So yeah, I'll take a loss here or there if it means I know I'm running a strong team that is going to do well overall against the meta. I still probably need to try and catch a rock slide here. So there's the problem. G-Fisk is double super effective with the rocks, is rough. I'm finding that there are a lot more answers to Jellicent now. And I think it's just because like it's basically the same as Giratina, right? And everyone knows Giratina's everywhere, so everyone knows Jellicent's everywhere. So I'm seeing a lot more answers to Jellicent, which is sort of frustrating because it limits the team. And Giratina, like I said, Giratina still super solid as a lead here. As a safe swap, even though you're still going to see the weaknesses. So yeah, I don't know what to do. You can just keep rolling with Jellicent and hope that you don't see as many. Or you can try and switch up to other safe swaps. If I had a Shadow Drapion, you know what? I talk poorly about Drapion in the Great League all the time because I think it's just too glassy. A Shadow Drapion in this league is like, oh God. I was looking at building one and it's 200 and some odd XL candy. So it's very much more bulky than in the Great League. So I think that having a Shadow Drapion as a safe swap here is also quite strong given its spamminess. So I don't hate that as a safe swap either. We are unfortunately going to go down here because I just cannot out move this. When you lose this lead, it's just Rock Slide is going to one-shot you because you're double super effective to it. Not much you can do. But yeah, anyways, the team works again in theory because it is just basically a balanced team. Sort of a balanced team with Jellicent safe swap, even though you're double weak to certain like grass in the back and double weak to electric. But yes, I know Charizard in and on the lead is fine. I think Giratina obviously or Umbreon or Drapion is fine as a safe swap. Swampert is just a beast in this meta. So that is it. I'm actually going to test out, someone mentioned Cobalion, and I was just actually, because I was like, I don't want to just keep using the same teams, but I also want to like, I need to hit freaking Legend soon. And so I was going through, and PB Poke has the top performing teams, and I was looking at some of them. I'm like, I don't like this team, I don't like this team. There's a couple that caught my eye, so I may use some of the top performing teams to see how they do in Ultra League. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. Probably Monday, Tuesday. Hopefully I can find time to shoot one. My daughter, unfortunately, has puked 15 times over the span of 12 hours. So she's got a really bad bug. Hopefully it's just one of those 24-hour bugs. That is the joy of kids if you have them. If you don't have them, one day, potentially, you may understand what I'm going through. Anyways, that is it. Appreciate you watching and thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.